न भूमिर्न तोयं न तेजो न वायुः न खं नेन्द्रियं वा न तेषां समूहः अनैकान्तिकत्वात् सुषुप्त्येकसिद्धः तदेको वशिष्ठः शिवः केवलोऽहम् तदेको वशिष्ठः शिवः केवलोऽहम्।
नमः परमर्षिभ्यो नमः परमर्षिभ्यः। हरिः ओम्। यस्यान्तन्नादिमध्यं न हि करचरणं नाम गोत्रं न सूत्रं नो जातिर्नैव वर्णा न भवति पुरुषो न नपुंसं न च स्त्रीं नाकारं नो विकारं न हि जनिमरणं नास्ति पुण्यं न पापं तत्त्वं नो तत्त्वमेकं सहजसमरसं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुत्यर्थगोचरं वन्दे वाच्यार्थानामगोचरं लक्ष्यार्थवपुषं वन्दे शङ्करं देशिकं गुरुम्। अपारसच्चित्सुखवारिराशेः यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि। देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकम् अहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तसिमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनाम् सोऽहं स्फूर्तिदया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचम् इमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। चिदंशं विभुं निर्मलं निर्विकल्पं निरीहं निराकारम् ओङ्कारगम्यं गुणातीतम् अव्यक्तमेकं तुरीयं परं ब्रह्मयं वेद तस्मै नमस्ते। विशुद्धं शिवं शान्तम् आद्यन्तशून्यं जगज्जीवनं ज्योतिरानन्दरूपम् अदिग्देशकालव्यवच्छेदनीयं त्रयीभक्तियं वेद तस्मै नमस्ते। Actually, yesterday we started our Chaturmasya Satsang parampara. The sankalpa was to start Vivek Chudamani, but we can have our own sankalpa and Bhagavan will have his own sankalpa. योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां संजीवयति. Bhagavata says, he enters my inner world and kindles my words. So it was Bhagavan's sankalpa that first we should have Sankaracharya's life. Along with that, the teaching also. Because Sankaracharya and Bhagavan, we cannot separate them as life and teachings. Life is teaching. Teaching is their life. Brahma Veda, Brahmaiva Bhavati. The knower of Brahman is Brahman. He is not simply a knower. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. The very nature of Brahman is existence, awareness, and limitlessness, bliss. Ananda. Ananta, Ananda are all same. So that knowledge of that truth, Brahman, is what all the Upanishads speak. It is what all the knowers, Brahmavadinaha, they also speak. Even if they do not speak, it is what emanates through them. Mauna Vyakhya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam. Even their Maunam, even their silence speaks that unspeakable, the unknowable, that which is beyond words, the transcendental. Such a great incarnation, manifestation of the divinity was Bhagavan, who was here for 54 years in a physical form, and now without physical form, with the same intensity, his presence is continuing. And here we see the entire embodiment of Vedanta as Arunachala. Just you look, you can see, that's all. Vedantatte Verara Vilangum Veda Porul Arul Arunachala. Bhagavan defines Arunachala. What is Arunachala? It is that essence of all the Upanishads which shines forth as inseparable from our own real being, our own existence, our own self. And he calls it as Veda Purul, the essence, the import, the implied meaning of all the Vedic Mahavakyas. So Sankaracharya or Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, they all represent that Vedic tradition, Veda Parampara. One of Bhagavan's devotees sang about him, Vedanayakan, Veda Bhushanan, Vedame Uruvanavan. He is the embodiment of Vedas, the Upanishads. So, it is Bhagavan's Sankalpa prompting from within that we have started telling the story of Sankaracharya yesterday. Sankaracharya Katha. Before starting Vivek Chudamani, diving deep into the Vedanta Grantha, first we will have, it is like before takeoff, the plane will have a runway drive, like that. Then you can have the takeoff. So many devotees, they were very happy yesterday that, oh, this story, kada. So, yesterday we saw, see, when we tell or listen the story of a Mahapurusha, Bhutanam Devacharitam Dukkhayacha Sukhayacha Sukhayaiva hi sadhunam twadrisham achyutatmanam. Bhagavata says, when you have the charitam, the story of Mahapurusha, Sukhayaiva, it gives you only Sukham, no Dukkham. Even Avatara's Katha, there will be Dukkham. Sorrow will be there. Rama Katha, you listen, you will also cry. But Sukhayaiva hi sadhunam twadrisham achyutatmanam. So, the story of Bhagavatpada or Bhagavan or any Mahapurusha, a Jivan Mukta, Jnani, it is what is called as Bhagavatam. It appears like a story, but when you listen, yesterday Sridharji was telling, when you tell the story, it is Atma Vidya. When you listen to the story, it is not story, it is Brahma Vidya. It is that moment you experience the Atma, that's Samadhi. So, Bhagavatam is generally called as Samadhi Bhasha. The very language is the language of the transcendental. It's the Pashyanti Vak, which connects you to the Para, to the Supreme. So it is the transcendental Shabda. So Bhagavatpada's life, we have yesterday told that Sankaracharya, the birthless one, was born in Kerala. Although birthless, he appears. Sankaracharya says about Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, Swayam ajataha api, ajanma api, jataha iva, lokanugraham kurvan iva, lakshyate. About Krishna Avatara, Sankaracharya says, although he is the birthless being, he appears to be born. He appears to do many things in the world. Like that is the story of Bhagavan, Sankaracharya and all. And when you meditate, when you listen to these stories, when you observe these stories, then what will happen? We will know that our own story is like as if we are born, as if we are doing something, actually nothing is happening. No birth, no death, no old age, no disease, no problem, no suffering. Always that Sahaja Nirvikalpa Ananda Swarupa, Shuddha Chaitanya Swarupa alone exists. Samarasam. Samarasam Asamanam Mana Sambandha Duram. As in Vivek Chudamani, Shankaracharya says, it is of harmony. Always the same Nirvikalpa Anubhava. Incomparable, asamanam, which can immeasurable. It is our own real being. So again we will continue our katha. Yesterday where did we leave? Yes. Yesterday Shankaracharya took sannyasa. Manasa sannyasa, not outward sannyasa. Because outward sannyasa, you need the Guru. So inwardly, Ishvara created an atmosphere for the renunciation to happen. See, many people ask about outer sannyasa. When they used to ask Bhagavan never encouraged anybody to take sannyasa. When Grihastha asked Bhagavan Ramana, should I take sannyas? Bhagavan said, why? No, there is a lot of problems in my family. Bhagavan said, now you are thinking that you are a family man, Grihastha. And if you take sannyasa, then you will think you are a sannyasi. In both places, you are thinking that you are the body. You have to know who you are. And when you know your real self, the jnani is the sannyasi. Jnani has no abhimana that he is sannyasi also. He neither thinks that he is a man or woman or grihastha or vanapastha or sannyasi. So that jnanam sannyasa lakshanam. Shankaracharya said jnanam sannyasa lakshanam. And Bhagavan said sannyaso nirmalam jnanam. Kashayo nachamundanam. Real sannyasa is pure jnanam. It is not simply kashaya or tonsuring the head or anything. So, real jnanam. So, when the devotee, Bhagavan replied like this, that devotee asked, then why did you renounce? You can ask me also. Why did you do this? Bhagavan said, if that is your prarabdha, you will not be asking like this. It would have happened to you. When the fruit is ripe, it will not ask the tree to fall. It will fall. Sometimes, when the person has that destiny, it will happen. Otherwise, it will not happen. One great Swami in Kerala, in Ramakrishna Mat, he is not there. A very great scholar, very saintly person. Swami Mridanandaji. Once I asked him, how did you take sannyasa? Swamiji said, I was working in a school as a teacher. One day I came to this ashrama and met that some great Mahatma was there. And he said, do you want to become, do you will to take sannyasa? He said, okay. That's all. So, only that much. He said, from then he took sannyasa and stayed, continued. So, that simple it was. So, to some people it happens like that. So, in Sankaracharya's case, the sannyasa is Ishvara's avatar. Bhagavan descends on certain people as this Turiya ashrama. In Bhagavata, Krishna says, Ashramanam aham Turyaha. Amongst all the ashrama, I am the Turiya ashrama. Dharmanam asmi sannyāsaha. 2 times he says in the same chapter. Amongst all the dharmas. When you say dharma, it means doing something. But Bhagavan says the greatest dharma is renouncing everything. Giving up everything. Nyasa yevatyare chayate. Nyasa yesham tapasam atiriktamahu. So that kind of true renunciation, it can happen without outer sannyasa also, but for the lokanugraha, for acharyatva, the outer sannyasa is very, very adorable. So that happened with Shankara. His mother had to, the situation you can see, how they were longing for a child and they did tapasya, Bhagavad Aradhana, and the child was born and the child became a great blessing to the world. Sometimes Bhagavan, anything that Bhagavan has not given you as prarabdha, and you seek from him, worship him to get something, you will get, but it will not stay with you. Dasharatha did yaga and he got Rama, and not an ordinary son, such a great son, and he had to see that son going to forest. And Dasharatha says, it would have been good that I have got a bad son. An ordinary son, if the father asks him, go to forest, no kingdom, he will say, I will not do. So I am very sad that I got a good son. So that there, he did so much worship, sacrifice to get such a son, but the son went to forest. Here, Aryamba Devi and Shiva Guru, they did that Shiva Aradhana, and by worshipping Shiva, they got Shankara. And they had to see Shankara disappear. Bhagavan's mother, Aragammal, she lost her husband when Bhagavan was only 14 years old. Then she went to some relative's place. While Venkatraman and his brother, they were all studying in school in Madurai, she went to some relative's place. And when she came back, Venkatraman was not there in the house. She was shocked, searching for that son here, there, everywhere. But here, Shankara took permission from his mother. With great pain, she had to give permission. Only when she gave the word, the crocodile left him. He entered the mouth of death and came out. And then the decision arose. Always there is a death experience before realization. So, this complete perception of death results in renunciation. Sannyasa is also in a way death, because all Shraddha karma, everything is done. And the Upanishad says through jnanam you attain realization, through death you cross this samsara. Another? Vidyaya vindate amritam. No. Avidyaya mrityum tirtva vidyaya amritam ashnute. Their mrityu is samsara, and sannyasa is also a form of mrityu. Another place it says the mrityu itself, mrityu of the entire world. It is mahapralaya, nitya pralaya. Jnanam is nitya pralaya. So, thus Shankara renounced everything and started walking. Not any bus, no flight. See, we were also planning to go to Omkareshwar, Narmada. And the very first question is there a flight? Oh, you can go up to Indore. From there, about 4 hours by car, very bad road. Oh. But this boy started walking through deep forest. Even from Kerala, you start walking, you have to cross the Brahmagiri and all the Sahya mountains and walk through deep forest in Karnataka and move towards the north to Madhya Pradesh, to the bank of Narmada. Thus he started moving. On the way he had great contacts with many saints and sages. And in Karnataka, in a forest, he saw an ashrama, very beautiful giri, Shringadri, Rishyasringa. There he met a sage who was wondering at the radiance of that boy. He asked him to stay there, but he said, no, I have to move. I have to see Govinda Bhagavatpada. And on that bank of river, he had a very mysterious vision. He saw a snake and a frog, both genetical enemies. They were staying very close, with very like friends. He was wondering what is happening, because nature has changed. They are by birth, by nature they are enemies, in fact predators. The snake, the frog is its food, but here it is not eating the frog, very friendly. Seeing that, he thought some mystery is there. Ahimsa pratishtayam tat sannidhau vairatyagaha. In a place some great sage has lived, or he is there. In his presence, even mutually hating people will live with so much peace, love. So some mystery is there, some sacredness is there about this place. And he inquired and he said, this is the place where the great mighty Rishyasringa Muni has did tapasya. So he saw that, and in his mind there was a mark about that place. Then he moved, walked, and at last reached Narmada. Narmada is a very different kind of river. You can see Ganga, you can see Yamuna, you can see Kaveri. Every river is unique. Although every river, water is same, it is all hydrogen and oxygen. It's all same. But you see Narmada, it is very different. So he went to the bank of Narmada and inquired about Govinda Bhagavatpada. We can imagine all the ashramas, the sadhus there. Even now, so many sadhus are there, so many monks are there on the bank of Narmada. From Amarkandak, they will walk the entire place around Narmada. You have to walk through forest and cross Gujarat and come like this and again back. So this Narmada Parikrama, that is a great austerity, tapasya. Sometimes people will do it with 1 year or few months or sometimes 2 years also. They will do it like a tapasya. You should become very, very close with Narmada. That is how we have to do Giri Pradakshina. It's not marathon, 2 hours, 1.5 hours Pradakshina also you can do. Bhagavan used to do Giri Pradakshina very slow. Very slow. Bhagavan used to say it is like walking of a queen who is pregnant. Always conscious about the child inside. Like that, a sadhaka has to walk the Giri Pradakshina very meditative. And every point you have to look at the edge of Arunachala. Unfortunately, now not visible. Formerly, we used to walk always seeing Arunachala because no trees, no forest, no construction. Everywhere you will see Arunachala, and Arunachala was completely barren. Not a single grass. It will look very dry, but the vision had a strange spiritual experience. Everywhere you can see Arunachala. Everywhere you can look at it. It's like a Mahameru Pradakshina. You can see everywhere. That is why perhaps that stotra which is ascribed to Sankaracharya says, Sri Chakrangida Shona Shaila Vapusham, says, like Sri Chakra, like Shona, Sri Chakra. Wherever you look, you can see that edge. Looking at Arunachala, you can do the Pradakshina. By so many Pradakshina, you become intimate with Arunachala. Arunachala enters you. Sometimes, it is very difficult to stay in Tiruvannamalai during summer. Now, every house we have AC, everything. But about 20 years back, 25 years back, no AC, sometimes not even fan. And no trees also. Now so much rain is there. Fortunately, we have got so much rain. Rain also will not be there. Water will be very scarce. No borewell. So in such situation, during summer, terrible heat. And those who are ready to endure that heat, something of Arunachala enters inside us. It's a strange mystical phenomenon. Something of Arunachala enters you. The meditativeness, the spiritual presence, the experience will be very deep during that time. You don't try to protect yourself. You just expose yourself to Arunachala. He will burn you. But in that burning is some strange spiritual phenomenon. It used to happen. So you have to become familiar with the mountain, familiar with the hill. Like that, when you go around Narmada also, you go with Narmada, you communicate with Narmada, let Narmada enter you, you enter Narmada. That is the Narmada Parikrama. So, Shankara reached there, and we have our book Atmatirtham here. You can go through it. I am very in a short form I am talking. Elaborate way, it is all written in Atmatirtham. It's there in English, Malayalam, Tamil, Kannada, Telugu also it is there. Now it is not, has not come. So, Sankaracharya entered the cave where Govinda Bhagavatpada was staying. People view the Brahmajnani with wonder. The Upanishad says, when you ask about Bhagavan, when you listen about Bhagavan, there is a strange feeling. Oh, it is like Brahma. It is that supreme being. Like that people spoke about Govinda Bhagavatpada. As Shankara walked on inquiring the whereabouts of Govinda Bhagavatpada, the sadhus of Omkareshwara praised the glory of the Brahmanishta in superlative terms, reminiscent of the Upanishadic mantra which says Asharya, as great wonder. They showed Shankara his cave in the middle of a hill in a village near Omkareshwara. The vast interior of the cave, carved out of a rock, was spacious like a royal court or a mansion. Many caves are like that. Bhartrihari cave is there. You can see it's very, very vast. The entry to the cave was at the northeast, and it was well lit and ventilated. It housed a smaller cave within which Govinda Bhagavatpada spent most of his time in the bliss of Atmanubhuti. Here and there sannyasis were found engaged in sadhana and shastra vichara. Shankara entered the cave and sought the permission to meet the sage. With great affection, the sannyasis led him to the presence of the Guru. There he saw the divine form of the old sage, sitting absolutely still with eyelids open and unfaltering. The vision of the sage was effortless stillness, indicating steady abidance in the self. He appeared as the embodiment of the Upanishadic description, Drishtihi sthira yasya vina nirodhat. Vina sadrishyam nu potirukku. A yogi is one whose vision is effortlessly steady. Tad Vishnoho paramam padam sada pashyanti surayah. Diviva chakshuratatam. The knower is ever beholding that Paramapadam of Vishnu. His vision is so steady as if he is looking at the vacant space. So, approaching the great master, Shankara did namaskara. Actually, by the very look, Bhagavatpada should have woken up to that state, because he was just waiting, upachara matram. That Guru Darshanam was only upachara matram. Yoga Vasishta says, Nyaptestu karanam nunam shishya prajnaiva kevala upadeshakramo rama vyavastha matra palanam. You should approach a Guru and the Guru should teach you. It is a vyavastha. But the real cause for enlightenment is the pure intelligence of the disciple, the inner maturity of the disciple. When the person is really mature, deserving, he attains that state, sometimes even by a look of the master. Many got it when they saw Bhagavan. Muruganar says, he did not even give me time to close my eyes. Before that, it's over. Shavanilai Tandan. He says, he bestowed that state of deathlessness. So Shankara entered the cave. Govinda Bhagavatpada looked at him with great love, compassion, and asked him, "Who are you, my child?" As Sankaracharya asked to Hastamalaka, "Kastvam Shishu, Kasya Kuto Siganta, Kim Namate Tvam, Kutaha Agatosi." Kastvam Shishu, my dear child, who are you? Kim Namate, what is your name? Where are you coming from? Kutaha Agataha Asi. All these things the sage asked, and the reply that Sankaracharya gave, you can see when Bhagavan was coming to Tiruvannamalai, he wrote a letter, and about his whereabouts, his name, just one line only, nothing. So here Govinda Bhagavatpada asked him, "Who are you?" Sankaracharya chanted these 10 verses. They are called, it is called Daśaśloki. Dasha means 10, Shloka means verse. Nirvāṇa-Daśakam also. These 10 verses, very profound verses. Na bhūmir toyam na tejo na vayuhu na kham nendriyam va na tesham samuha anekantikatvat sushuptyeka siddha tadeko vasishta shivah kevaloham navarna navarnashramachara dharmaham न मे धारणा ध्यान योगादयोऽपि अनात्माश्रयोऽहं ममाध्यासहानात् तदेको वशिष्ठः शिवः केवलोऽहम्. Is the essence of these verses. Just now Narayanan chanted that. Sankaracharya says, "I am not this form," which is a conglomeration of all the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. I am not the senses or the mind. All this body, mind, ego, which is too much on us, they are anaikantika. They are not constant. So much is spent to keep this body healthy, alive. One day it will go. And it is a solid dream. And the ego and the mental world, it is a liquid dream, inward. However solid it might be, just sleep, it goes. The body is there only in the waking state. It disappears in the dream. The mind at least continues till dream. The mental personality, the ego personality, the image, it continues in the dream also. In deep sleep, that also drops. Neither the body exists nor the mind exists. See, we do so much to keep the body disappears in dream. And you do so much meditation, all kind of tricks to keep the mind well, the mind disappears in deep sleep. So, if you want to hold on to something, hold on to that which will never vanish. Sushuptyeka siddhaha, that which will persist, which will continue, which continues even in deep sleep. That which is got, available, even in the state of deep sleep, avashishtaha, that which remains. When everything is negated, no, this is not that, this is not that, like the body is not me, the mind is not me, the intellect is not me, the ego is not me, the world is not me, like that. Nishedhe krite, when negation is done, what remains? That which remains, that pure essence, existence, awareness, bliss, It is the most auspicious thing. When you touch that, it is very auspicious because it is Shashvata, eternal. When you know that, body is inauspicious. Shivam. Hence it is called Shavam. Body is called Shavam. Atma is Shivam. And for the Shavam, all these hospitals, schools, beauty parlors, hotel, health experts, physiotherapy, yoga teachers, then what? Tailor, textile shop. Everything for what? This body. And at last what happens? One day it vanishes. It grows old. It becomes sick. Nobody has found any perfect way to keep it healthy. But again we believe that we can do it. In that belief, we run our show. So this body is not nitya, it is anitya. The mind is also, whatever moods and states you create, it goes on changing. So holding on to mental moods also, you can create some states. You meditate, you create a state and remain in that state. That very powerful. But that is a vidya. We call it a vidya. And that plane of mysticism also is not steady. The Upanishad says, those who hold on to the bodily plane, they enter darkness. Those who are obsessed with the mental plane enter more enshrouding darkness. Tato bhuya iva tamaha yavu sambhutyagum rataha. Sambhuti is the mental plane. It is the plane of mysticism. There also no steadiness, no stable state. So go beyond that. And in that sakshi, that witness, that awareness which is beyond the body, beyond the mind, which is the nitya shuddha buddha mukta svabhavam, which is Satchidananda, that Shiva, that Atma, that Shuddha Chaitanya is me, he says. Navarna shramachara dharmaha Name dharana dhyāna yogādayobi. Hey, you practice some yoga, meditation, not physical yoga. It says dhyāna, dharana, everything is being done by this I. Bhagavan gave the subtle upadesha. Bhagavan, how to meditate? Bhagavan said, find out the meditator. Find out the meditator who wants to meditate. When you sit for meditation, inquire who wants to meditate. I want to meditate. I am the meditator. Who is this I? Stay there in that search, in that investigation, looking at the I. Aham. And in that I is built this great castle. This samsara pattanam, as Bhagavata puts it, Gandharva pattanam. Everything is like a Gandharva pattanam, means a magician's magic wand. He puts it like this, illusion comes, and a big city comes before you. And he puts it like this, it disappears. All this show, it appears and goes away, So the person who does dharana, dhyana, everything, who is the meditator? Very beautiful, Bhagavan in one place says, meditation is your real nature. Your self is meditation. That to understand that you have to go deeper. Cross the border of meditation also. Then you find you are meditation. You are samadhi. In Gita Bhashya, samadhi, the word comes. And Sankaracharya gives out a different meaning. Because Yoga Shastra samadhi means yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. It's a state. It's an avastha. But Bhagavan says samadhi is not an avastha, it's not a state. Sankaracharya also says in Gita Bhashyam, samadhihi atma. Samadhi is another name for the self. It is your very nature, it is your being. The moment you recognize it, it is swatantram, vastu tantram, not purusha tantram. Purusha tantram means it is in the freedom of this person. This person means what? This ego. It can meditate or not meditate, or do puja or not do puja, do this, do that, kartum, akartum, anyatha va kartum, shakyam, laukikam, vaidikam cha karma. You can do, not do it wrongly, anything can be done. But this Atmavastu is not in your control. It is shining in its own glory by its own light. Svemahimmi pratishtitaha. So, now when you recognize that you are absolutely free, and all this, I am a Brahmana, I am a Kshatriya, I am a Vaishya, I am a Shudra, I am a Brahmachari, I am a Grihastha, I am a Vanaprastha, I am a Sannyasi. All these are superimpositions. Adhyasa. In that pure Nitya Shuddha Vastu, something is superimposed, like a snake is superimposed in a rope. Is the usual example in Vedanta. As we usually say, without snake and rope, no Vedanta. So, anatma ashrayaham mama adhyasahana. This is the adhyasa. What? Varna, ashrama, ashramachara, dharma. All these are superimposed in the Nitya Shuddha Vastu. See, you need not remove the superimposition, you cannot also. It will be there in the world. But you recognize deep within that it is not there in you. Sometimes in cinema, somebody acts. There were many stories that people were acting as Mahavishnu for some time. After that, they think they are Vishnu. In normal life also, they think, but others also should accept. So that is it. So like that, you superimpose many things on you. This superimposition of Varna and Ashrama, and from that activities also. These are all Anatma Vastu, non-self. You are superimposing non-self in the self. You deny everything, then what remains is pure self, pure awareness, pure consciousness. Satchidananda, Shiva. And Shankara said, I am that Shiva. Na mata pitava na deva na lokaha na veda na yajna na tirtham bruvanti. These are all Upanishadic statements actually. The Upanishad says in the deep sleep, Mata amata bhavati, pita apita bhavati, vedaha avedaha bhavanti, devaha devaha bhavanti. Like that. So too, we identify with something and play roles. I am a mother, I am a father. It's all needed. In the world it is all needed. But you take it to the inner identity, problem arises. Suffering continues. So this identification, adhyasa is given up. I am not mother to anybody. I am not a mother. I am not a father. A sannyasi has to say, I am not a sannyasi. Sometimes, see, to do dharma in the relative plane, the sannyasi has to say, I am a sannyasi. So I should be like this for achara. But for jnanam, he has to deny that. For achara, the sannyasi has to say, I am sannyasi. It is not ego. It is for dharma. I am a sannyasi is ego. I am a sannyasi. I should live like this. This is my anushtana should be there. That is bhakti. So too, I am a brahmana. So I should live like this. These anushtanas are needed. Tyagam is needed. I should study Vedas. I should live in austerity. This is dharma. But if you take that brahmanatva in the self, superimpose in the self, it is bondage. So you should know where to keep it what. You should keep the brahmanatva in the plane of dharma. You should keep the sannyasitva in the plane of dharma. You should keep the stritva, purushatva in the plane of dharma. And do not take it to the deepermost level of your awareness and create conflict there. Because it will not stick there. Asahishnu. It will just push it aside. Like every day in deep sleep, you don't belong to any of these categories. So, Narmada, Pitava, na Deva, na Lokaha, no Devas, no world, na Vedaha, no Veda. Veda is the greatest authority, and Vedas are denying no Vedas. There was a drama in our village. Two people they have practiced dialogue and they were fighting. That is the scene. While doing that, the dialogue that I have to tell, you tell me, because got confused. So he said, the dialogue which I have repeating is they are in the same fighting mood. The same fighting mood, this person says, that is not what you should say, that I should say. Like that, the Vedas will tell you, you should not tell that Vedas are not Vedas, but we will tell. Vedas themselves are declaring, Vedas also lose their existence there. Vedaha avedaha bhavanti. Na yajnaha, no yajna also. And the greatest yajna is Atma, Ishvara, Yajno, Yajnapatihi, Yajva, Yajnango, Yajnavahanaha, Yajnabhrit, Yajnakrit, Yajni, Yajnabhuk, Yajnasadhanaha, Yajnantakrit. Everything is Ishvara. Atma is Yajna, Natirtam. Why do you run here, there, everywhere? Na ashramaha. Why should we go to this ashrama, that ashrama? Atma is ashrama. As long as it is possible, go. When not possible, you take to this teaching. I am ashrama. When you can go to Tirtham, go to Tiruvannamalai, go to Kailas, go to, if possible, go to Vaikuntha, any place. But when you are not able, it is not possible to travel, you just know that you are the Tirtham. Withdrawing the mind from the world and make it abide in the heart, that is the greatest sacred travel, pilgrimage. That is the most holy, purifying movement from the extroversion to introversion to the center, to the bindu, where you take a dip, and that is the greatest Ganga Snan. Mano nivrittihi paramopashantihi. Withdrawing the mind and getting that supreme peace, paramopashantihi. Sa tirthavarya, that is the most sacred tirtham. Manikarnika, the most sacred spot in Kashi, in Ganga, is Manikarnika. Sa tirthavarya manikarnika cha Jnana Pravaha, that constant experience, Aham Brahmasmi, I am that Brahman. That supreme awareness is Ganga. No outer river is needed. Simply Yogi Brahmanishta Atmavedi Gayan Neva Gacchati, Gayan Neva Gacchati, Gayan Neva Gacchati. Evam Ganga Eshaha, Gangadharaha. He sings and moves about, sings and moves about, sings and moves about. That wandering mystic. His song is what Atmavidya Vilasam, which we heard. That ever in inundation of that Atmanubhuti, the yogi moves about in the forests, in the river banks, in solitude, merged in that bliss. No limitation of motherhood, fatherhood, brotherhood, husbandhood, wifehood, teacherhood. No hood. The ego is the hood. And no limitation of anything. I have to do this, I have to do that, social service, this all we can say yajna. And no limitation of I should visit that place, this place. Sushuptau. In deep sleep, every day the mind enters. What is there? Some people say in deep sleep it is blankness. Nirastati shunyatmakatvad. No shunyam. Shunyam is not possible. Nothingness is not possible. It is atmatvam. That is why when you wake up from that state, you want to go back. Somebody shakes you up. You come out from deep sleep. Oh, why did you disturb me? One of our group devotees was listening to the talks. And whenever sitting for talks, he will go to, even before starting. So that is not my fault. He will sit. One day, one Rasika, one who knows, see, those who enjoy it very much, they will be disturbed. So he was sitting near him. And he has a mysterious habit. Whenever he enjoys, he will give a slap to the nearby person's thigh. So he was dozing. And this person gave, what are you doing? He looked at him and said, I am in Samadhi. He said, why did you disturb? I am in Samadhi. So, it is not Shunya, it is Shuddha Chaitanya, but no knowledge. So in deep sleep you have no sorrow, no suffering. But it is not useful for you to, in the waking state. Your problems are in the waking state. Here you need medicine. Here you need parihara. Vitarka badhane pratipaksha bhavan. That pratipaksha is needed here. Problem is here. Suffering is here. So I want to cross the suffering also here. Through the mind I have problem, due to mind I have problem, and by the mind I have to cross. Manasaivedam aptavyam nehananasti kinchana. As the Upanishad says, the mind is constantly hypnotizing me by saying this is a man, this is a woman, this is money, this is power, this is pleasure, this is pain. And I have to tell that mind, don't try to delude me, there is only one. Whatever you may say, this manifoldness, nanatvam, I will tell the mind ekatvam. Ekachintanam, as Bhagavan puts it. So, with that knowledge, manasaivedam aptavyam nehananasti kinchana. As long as you believe the mind, the Upanishad says, you have a sufficient evil friend inside you constantly deluding you, hypnotizing you. If you believe him, mrityoho samrityum apnoti. You have taken season ticket to the world of death, Yama. Mrityo samrityum apnoti. Go there and come back. Go there and come back. From death to death. Yaiha naneva pashyati. So now you teach your own mind to understand that only Atma is there, Self is there. So what that exists as mere existence, isness, astitvam, that Shiva, that Atma is me. Na Sankyam, na Shaivam. See, we want to name. So here Shankara said it is not Sankhya Shastra. Na Shaivam, not Shaiva also. They also accepts duality. Triputi, Pashu, Pati, Pasham. Na Sankyam, na Shaivam. And Vaishnava is here said as Pancharatra. Na Pancharatram. Because somewhere you hold to Shaiva or Vaishnava or Sankhya. Sankhya is no Ishvara there. If you come to Ishvara, it is Shaiva or Vaishnava. Na Sankyam, na Shaivam, na Tat Pancharatram. Or you go to Nirvāṇa-Madam, na Jinam, na Jainam. Jainamata. They are also great Tyagis, renunciate. But these people, they don't have the hold on, the Vedic support is not there. So the Mahavakya, Atmavidya is not there. That they didn't directly go to the self-knowledge. Atmajnana. Na Sankyam, na Shaivam, na Tat Pancharatram, na Jainam, na Mimamsakader Matamva. And if you deny all that, what remains? Only rituals. Do this ritual, that ritual. Go to this temple, that temple. I am just simplifying the whole thing. But the Mimamsa is do this yajna, that yaga, this Shrauta karma, and so much of Pashubandha, Pashubali, everything must be done. Agni, Nityagnihotra and Darsha Purnamasheshti, and now and then Pashubandha must be done. You get from one trap to another trap. Namimamsakader matamva. Then what? Vishishta anubhutya. That Vishishta anubhuti, that anubhava is always there within you as I. As ever shining forth as aham, I am. As the existence undeniable. You deny everything, it remains. You cannot deny. Whatever experience comes and goes, the denier, the experiencer is same. Waking state, dream, deep sleep, they come and go, but the witness is same. The experiencer is same. So that is Vishishtanubhuti, and that is of the form of Vishuddhatma, pure self, pure consciousness. That Shiva is me. And where should I meditate that? In the head or in the Mooladhara Chakra? In the higher world, whenever you say God, like this. One cricket match was happening, one person was not getting out. The umpire was a good devotee. So the bowler, instead of asking how is that, he asked where is God. He said, no. This is a joke that they will say. God means urdhvam, above. And something adha, lower. And at least you say antar, go inside. Inside means what? Inside the body. That is why people say Hanuman just tore his heart. Surgery, cardiac surgery. Open. Nacha antar, not even inside. Na bahyam, not outside. Even in deep sleep you can have this. You see? It's not inside or outside. No space, nothing. Na madhyam, na tiryang, na purvaparadik, neither east nor west. Viyadvyapakatvad, it is more vast than the sky. How is it possible? Because the very idea of sky or space happens in pure awareness. When the mind arises, the first delusion is space, along with that time also, along with that causation also. Desha, Kala, Nimitta, time, space, causation. All the three comes. And when the mind goes and merges there, no time, no space, no causation. So, Viyadvyapakatvad akhandaika rupaha. It is infinite, non-dual. Tadeko Vasishta Shiva Kevaloham. That Shiva, that pure awareness, that am I. Nashuklam. It is not white. That white radiance, we will say. It is not white. It is because something which you can see. Na Krishnam. It is not dark also. Na Raktam. Na red. Not red. Na Pitam. Not yellow. Some color you associate with it. Long. If we comment on this, we can say, sometimes people will look at you, you have become very fat. We get deluded. For sometimes we forget everything. One person said, went to ashrama for meditation room, long backs. One word, before going to, he said, I have taken a vow that I will not talk to anybody when I go to meditate. So he said, it happened because of one incident. One day I was going to meditate in Bhagwan's meditation old hall. Then I met a very old friend. Casually I asked him, how are you? And he said to me, you look very fat. Only this much remark, whole meditation went away. And inside that meditation room, is it true that I have become fat? I have put weight. And after that I went home and looked at the mirror and asked everybody and went to see how much weight I have put. So this is the world, a casual remark from another person, the mind starts operating in the realm of superimposition, adhyasa. Na shuklam, na krishnam, na raktam, na pitam, na kubjam, short, na peenam, fat, na hrasvam, na dirgham, not short or long, arupam, it is not of the form, not even a light, na jyotihi, because even light has a form. You deny everything, the existence, awareness, bliss, that Shiva is me. How can a teacher give you that? Na Shasta, the teacher is only an indicator. People think that teacher can put realization. No. He just gives you some sign through which you have to realize. And when you realize, you find no teacher, no teaching, no scripture, nothing can enter there. Neither you nor me. This you-me division, this relationship is samsara. That is why Bhagavan says, Ni naan arappuli nidam kalimayamai nindridum nilai arul arunachala. Arunachala, bestow on me that state where there is neither you nor me. And this psychological movement between us, which is great bondage, in the form of attachment or aversion. So this na shasta, na shastram, na shishyo, na shiksha, na cha tvam, na cha aham, na chayam prapancha. Not even this world exists. Swarupavabodhaha, constant experience of one's real nature. Vikalpa asahishnuhu, that state, just it will not permit the other to stick there. It will just push it aside. Vikalpa asahishnuhu, The greatest Vikalpa is this I, the experiencer. Even he is not there. Tadego Vasishta Shiva Kevaloham. Na Jagran na me Swapna Kova Sushuptihi. Na Vishwo Nava Taijasa Pratnya Kova. Neither waking state, nor dream, nor deep sleep. Avidyatmakatvad. All these three are there due to ignorance superimposed on my true nature. That Shiva am I. Apivyapakatvad tattva prayogad. Swatah siddha bhavad ananya ashrayatvad. Jagat tucham etat samastam tadanyat tadego vasishta Shiva kevalo. I am that pure self Shiva, the all-pervading one. It is swatah siddha. It is by its own nature. It is ever attained. The world compared to it is nothing. I am is experience. Everything is only perception. It is tucham. It cannot do anything. It cannot hurt you. It cannot have anything. It is like you see a tragedy movie. It is in the screen. It will not touch the screen. You see some horror happening. It will not touch the screen. Big rain. It will not wet the screen. Like that, whatever is happening here in the body, the mind, the ego, so much it appears as if it is happening. Lokavat, but not loka. What exists is Leela Kaivalyam. As Vyasa Bhagavan says, it is Kaivalyam. It is the dance of that non-dual awareness. In it, it appears as if the world, as if the mind, as if I, you, our life, great joy, pleasure, pain, some marriage, some childbirth, some death, some calamity, some war, some celebration, some meditation, some sorrow, hunger, thirst, my child, my wife, my husband, my God, my Guru, my all these things, all aha, hu, as Sankaracharya says, everything comes and goes. There are two Gandharvas, These Gandharvas are with magical powers. Their name is Ha and Hu. One is Ha, the another is Hu. Ha hu mukastutya hani vriddhi vivarjita. In Trishati it is there, the Nama is there. Ha hu mukastutya. Trishati dane? Ha hu mukastutya hani vriddhi vivarjita. So this world is full of ha hu. Not real. So nachaikam tadanyat. Ultimately he says not even one exists. Even to say one, there should be two. Nacha ekam, not even one exists. Dvidiyam kutasyat. Even one is superimposed, then where can be two? Only when the I is there, the you, he, all becomes meaningful. Even the I is unreal. What to speak about other things? Nachaikam tadanya dvidiyam kutasyat. Nava kevalatvam, nacha kevalatvam, na shunyam, nacha ashunyam. Nothing, fullness, nothingness, all are spoken by seeing the world. In the Atma, it is neither nothingness nor fullness, it is it. It is itself. Katham sarva vedanta siddham bravini. All the Upanishads are declaring it so clearly. How can I blabber about like this? That it is nothing or it is fullness, it is experienced ever in me as my being, my existence, my awareness, as bliss, as ever attained self. How to tell about it as nothingness or fullness or anything? It is itself. Hence Bhagavan said, Irundabadike iru endran. Remain as you are, be as you are. So thus Sankaracharya declared, And Govinda Bhagavatpada looked at Shankara with so much joy, bliss. All these 10 verses, they are like rays coming from a splendorous sun, shining forth. Govinda Bhagavatpada looked at him as Shiva, as Parameshwara. Govinda Bhagavatpada said, now the entire earth will become sacred by your feet. You walk the earth will have goosebumps. The entire Bharatavarsha will become pure by your movements. Because it is a strange occurrence that Shiva himself is moving about. As Sureshwaracharya says, Shivayeva na samshayaha. Totakacharya said, Bhavayeva bhavaniti me nitaram samajayata chetasika ruktukita. Padmapadacharya said, Apurva Shankaram. Apurva Shankaram. So that is how they all looked at him as Shiva himself, as Mahadeva, as Dakshinamurti, as about Bhagavan also, Muruganar, everybody looked at him like that. They looked at him as Shiva. So that kind of vision, Govinda Bhagavatpada gave sannyasa to Shankara. Now is the real sannyasa. And gave the name Bhagavatpada. That is his name, Bhagavatpada. Shankara Bhagavatpada. And there Sankaracharya stayed for 3 years. Ramakrishna says, in certain plants, first fruit comes, then comes the flowers. Like that, after the experience, Govinda Bhagavatpada taught him the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutra, everything. So 2 years study after realization. After Anubhuti, you study. That is the course with such great beings like Bhagavan also. After realization, look at the book and see, oh, it is our autobiography. Whatever I have experienced is being spoken here. So it becomes very clear, very simple. The Shastra becomes very clear. So thus, Shankara Bhagavatpada stayed for 2 more years on the bank of Narmada, the Tapobhumi, in the presence of that mighty sage Govinda Bhagavatpada, with so many other monks there, all Virakta. You need a very Virakta Sannidhi to internalize Vedanta. Everywhere in Tiruvannamalai you see all these bhikshus. It's a Mangala Darshanam. In city you see all sophisticated, aristocratic, bureaucrats. Everywhere you see such people. It is very nauseating for a spiritual seeker, not for others. For them, seeing this sadhu is terrifying. How will they live? What are they doing? One big businessman came with me to Giri Pradakshinam, and he had a lot of tension, depression because of his business problem. All problems of millions of billions of dollars and all. Suddenly he disappeared. I was walking, I was not talking to him, I was walking. When I looked back, I couldn't see him. Then what happened to him? Then I saw he was standing and looking at somebody. So some sadhus, they were sitting there and joking, talking, and somebody has given them bhiksha and eating there. And he says, he is also having something to eat. This rich man. I asked him, who gave you? They gave me bhiksha. The bhikshus gave him bhiksha. And looking at them, he said, how happy they are. I have so much money, so much wealth. Everything is there. No happiness. I cannot sit like this, talk like this, laugh like this. So, everything I have. Sankaracharya asks, Shariram Surupam Tathava Kalatram Yashasharu Chitram Dhanam Merutulyam Gurorangripatme Manashenna Lagnam Tatahkim 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 Tatahkim. I have a very beautiful body, very handsome, very beautiful wife, Tathava Kalatram, and very famous. Every day my photo comes in newspaper. Everywhere it is there. Yashascharu Chitram. I have got all kind of award, everything. Prize. Dhanam Merutulyam, money, wealth, like Mount Meru, like Himalayas you can see. Still, if you do not have the spiritual life, you do not have devotion to the feet of your Guru, means what? That jnanam, that teaching, that satsanga, you have not got. With all this, what is the use? What is the use? What is the use? Then what? So what? So what? So what? Tatahkim, 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 tatahkim. Everything, sarvam vyartham marana samaye sambaye kasahayaha. Chandrasekhara Bharati Swami. So, this is what we see here as the great Shankara, this life, this glorious life. Sankaracharya is now in Narmada. We will also stay in the bank of Narmada till tomorrow. Then some incidents will happen. We will move about. Let us see whether Sridharji will go from here to Bangalore. Hara Namah Parvati Pataye Hara Hara Mahadeva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala